that? Hi! So yeah, I'm getting ready for this birthday party, but I wanted to talk to you guys about, you know how some people count how many books they've read in a year? Well, I count the movies I watch. And in 2024, I watched 112. Out of those 112 movies, 30 were, I was going to say born in 2024. 30 came out in 2024. I've already talked about a few of them in my Oscars video, aka my first video on the channel. But today, instead of talking about Oscar-worthy movies, I'm gonna talk about Sophia-worthy movies, aka the top 3 best movies of 2024, in my opinion. When I was 12, I used to have a movie review blog with my friends. So maybe I didn't go to college, but I do know something about giving my opinion on movies on the internet. Katie Heron was homeschooled her entire life, but once she finally gets to go to a real-life US high school, everything changes. Sure, she used to live in Africa and even saw naked a cow, but what she's about to witness and live is even wilder. Instead of sticking to the status quo and being the token straight friend to canon lesbian Janice and still canon gay Damien, Katie talks to Regina George, the queen of the plastics. A controversial choice for one of the best movies of 2024? Yes. But as someone who has never seen or heard the original Broadway musical, but does love musicals, is a huge fan of the original 2004 movie, I even had made a video called Shit Mean Girls Fans Say. Also, I love Renee Rapp. So yeah, I really liked the movie. I didn't like getting queer-baited, but I did watch a video on the lesbianism in Mean Girls, so maybe I didn't get queer-baited after all. Some examples that help the theory that Regina George is a lesbian are the fact that she is very much boy-obsessed, but in a performative way, as what she really cares about is what other women think of her. I can kind of relate to Regina in that way, as I have dated more men than women, but I am in fact a huge dyke. There's a scene in this movie where Gretchen is singing in Regina's closet and opens up a music box. In that music box is a small bright pin that we can assume is the same pin she had matching with Janice when they were younger and Janice came out. But why would she keep it after so long? They're not even friends anymore. Also, the bright pin flag is in her closet. But this isn't a video on the lesbianism Mean Girls. I will link that video in the description. I didn't go to high school in 2004. I was far too young, but I also haven't been to high school in 10 years. My time was exactly 10 years after the first movie and 10 years before this new musical. That said, I wanted to talk about the language used in both films and the additive of technology. Sure, I love the shirt with boob holes in the 2004 version, and it would have been fun to see it in this one. But the TikTok filter makes so much more sense to this, well, I guess, my generation. Also, if you think about the uniform and dress restrictions in schools, the nipple holy shirt would just not fly. I went to a school with no uniform, so you could wear whatever you wanted pretty much. And in high school, to gather money for the graduation party, we had these, I guess, hazing rituals. Every week we would make posters telling people to dress up a certain way every Wednesday. And later we would go to all classrooms and collect money from the people who didn't dress up. Considering my best friend was sort of running the whole thing when we were in high school, and we love Mean Girls, one of the weeks was on Wednesdays we were pink themed. And she bought a shirt and cut boob holes, but she wasn't allowed to wear it all day long, just during the hazing period. I wore a highlighter pink shirt. The language thing I mentioned is that nobody uses gay or lesbian as an insult anymore. At least I don't think so. So calling Janician a lesbian in 2024 just wouldn't fly, and Regina would be labeled as homophobic. Since I was a teen in between these two movies, I went through being very offended by someone calling my haircut a lesbian haircut, and even cried when I heard that this random guy called me a lesbian behind my back. I also had a friend who had a nightmare where I came out as gay, and why did everyone know I was a lesbian before I did? And nobody stopped me from dating men? Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot. Yes, Janice was my favorite character in the 2004 movie. How'd you guess? Also, Mean Girls was where I first heard the word lesbian. So I guess you can't blame Glee for me being gay, but we can in fact blame Tina Fey. She's still my favorite character in the 2024 revival. I always felt she was the most stylish, and this time around she definitely is. Her makeup is self-etched, and out of all the characters, she was the best dressed. I don't quite get why Regina's clothes look so bad and so sheen, but I believe the costume department did a very good job with Jen's clothes. So yeah, was Mean Girls the best movie of 2024? No. I wouldn't put the best movie first on a video. Is it the worst thing to ever exist and oh my god, burn with fire? Also no. Also, Renee singing Someone Gets Hurt, hello, and they dressed her as an angel? A snow angel, if you will? Okay, next movie. Elizabeth Sparkle, who, after being fired by her producer due to her age, uses a black market drug that creates a much younger version of herself with unexpected side effects. I'm sure you don't need yet another person praising this movie, but here I am. I'm also here to say that even though I love me some gore, body horror, not for me. I just don't know what's about me, but I just don't like seeing a whole ass adult coming out of another adult's spine. But what if I told you I missed the beginning of The Substance, aka I missed the grossest scene of the whole movie? Dennis Quaid eating those shrimp. I have seen the gifs. Caroline Forger makes films about angry women, who are right to be angry. Her debut film Revenge from 2018 is a rape revenge movie. Now The Substance is about the brutal world of aging as a woman, both in Hollywood and out. Men become silver foxes and women become too old and maybe, just maybe, pretty for their age. The mess of the movie is given very well by the use of body horror to make us question beauty standards. The substance, which, by the way, anything can be a substance, comes in a very marketable packaging. Bold black letters, little to no instructions, white background. It's all about the aesthetic after all. Botox is a substance, Ozempic is a substance, lip fillers, the word. I'm not judging anyone who uses any of those things, but we do have to talk about sometimes it stops going from I do this because it makes me happy to I do this because society demands it. It does become an addiction to some, and Elizabeth is one of them. She started too rapidly, and I would go as far as saying decaying. But she's addicted to the spotlight, the youth, and no matter how many times the seventh person says she can stop any time. The truth is, actually she can't. Another great way that the substance delivers its messages is through its colors. Elizabeth, the Matrix, the original, the yolk, she only wears primary colors, the most iconic being her beautiful yellow jackets. Yellow is both associated with the warning of hazardous substances, such as the substance, but also hope, as in Elizabeth is ingesting hazardous substances in hopes of achieving her dreams of eternal youth and fame. After being under for one day too long, Elizabeth's go from wearing dark blues to a red dress, red makeup, red gloves. Red is her new color, and red is danger, red is blood, red is mature. While Sue starts off wearing the Matrix clothes and colors, she soon drifts away and goes for more diluted versions of Elizabeth's primary colors. She goes for baby blues and most of all, pinks. Pink makeup, pink leotard, pink being a more feminine color than red, and even a younger color, if you will. But no matter what, the color blocking, the blue, the red, Elizabeth always goes back to her safety blankets, the yellow coats. The thing that says, I'm the Matrix, I'm the original. Another cool little detail is in the makeup, not only the amazing prosthetics, but the makeup scene where Demi Moore even got bruised from while doing 15 takes of her furiously removing her makeup. She first applies a red matte lipstick, then she looks at Sue's luscious gloss-covered lips, so she adds a lip oil. Then she adds blush, all to look younger, prettier. I know it's one of the most famous scenes, but like this movie in general, I want to talk about it. Fujino was the art girl of her school. She even had her drawings featured in the school paper until Kiyomoto showed up. Well, came up since she didn't go to school in person. But after delivering Kiyomoto's diploma to her house, both of them became best friends and started drawing together and improving their art to achieve their dreams of becoming mangakas. After some time passed and they distanced themselves, tragedy struck, forcing Fujino to think about the past. This was my favorite movie of the year. No, I didn't read the manga. I hadn't even heard of the movie until one day I saw the poster in my local cinema and thought it looked like a nice watch. And I guess it was a nice watch, if by nice watch you mean gasping, crying, and laughing at the cinema. I'm an artist. I relate to both the main characters, and worse, in the beginning I couldn't really dislike Fujino because around her age, I was in her shoes. I thought I was hot shit. I was the art girl in pretty much all of my years in school. But one of my best friends in primary school was better in my eyes. She drew these bubbly girls, but she could also write very well, and she was good in English and Portuguese and everything, and people would comment on how nice her drawings were. Later, like around high school, this new kid showed up, and they had a much more profound knowledge of perspective and anatomy, and they could draw these crazy expressions, and they didn't even sketch, just straight up drawing with a ballpoint pen. Characters that today I'll describe in the best way as Deviant or Victor from Arcane.
Victor Nation, how are we feeling?
So I related to Fujina's jealousy of her peers. And I love how she pushed herself to be better, but when it comes to comparing yourself to others, you just find more and more flaws in your own art, where she even gives up on drawing. I don't follow any of the people I mentioned before, but if I do spend too long on Instagram, I start to think, oh, maybe I should give up this art thing because these 17-year-olds can draw way better than me everything. Both of the girls' collections of sketchbooks are an amazing, I'll say exaggerated representation of every artist who has drawn since childhood. I have most of my sketchbooks over there from over the years and I'm not stopping with them anytime soon. But when Kiyomoto tells Fujino she's a huge fan of her work, I bet you she felt real good. Just like when my friends tell me they love my art and I just think what the fuck you draw way better than me. Have you seen your anatomy? Have you seen how well you can draw animals? I don't even know how to draw a cat. I like how it's showing the different ways artists can follow their dreams. Kiyomoto, who has spent a lot of her time indoors because of her, I believe, agoraphobia, wants to go to college, and that's because of Fujino. Even though she and Fujino already have a successful career as mangakas. But Fujino thinks that's kind of a waste of time since they are already successful mangakas and school will only get in the way of them publishing more and more art. I also really like that they have dark circles under their eyes. I always add dark circles or bags under my character's eyes, especially when I draw myself. I guess I'm trying not to spoil too much of these movies or mostly this movie, but I'll say that Look Back kind of reminds me of the manga Orange and the first Life is Strange game. Out of all the movies I watched in 2024, I think Look Back was the one I related to the most. Which I would say is a good thing considering the other movies I mentioned are a musical on high school revenge and a body horror about aging. I have been Sophia and these were my top 3 movies of 2024. Did you watch any of them? Do you agree with my top 3? Probably not. What was your top 3 of 2024? Tell me in the comments below and subscribe to see me in the next video. Bye! Oh, I messed up. Can you see that?
I want my pink shirt back. The limit does not exist. Getting loser, we're going shopping. So you agree? You think you're pretty? That is so fetch. Stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen. I can't go? I'm sick. Boo, you whore.